Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the most pivotal game of the SCTT so far? That's right, it's the South American Championships by ttesports. Argentinian Rejects up against Flogic. I'm SB Revolution 5. I'm solo casting tonight, but I am hyped. I am seriously hyped. It's going to be a very, very exciting game here, as everything is on the line for Flogic. Now, there's not much on the line for Argentinian Rejects. They cannot make the finals unless they can somehow disqualify Lucchini and then beat this team 2-0 and also disqualify Isurus or beat the tiebreaker. It's just not going to happen. They'd have to
5 seconds remaining.
Do something that doesn't involve playing the game. It does mean everything to Flogic. They cannot lose a single game here, or Lucchini makes it in. If they win this 2-0, they will have to play against Lucchini for their final spot in what I believe will be a best-of-1 tiebreaker. Of course, the draft already getting underway. We see Tusk picked up by Argentinian Rejects. We do see Doom and Huskar banned out. Definite first ban phase material these days, although these two heroes, I would argue, are very much first ban material as well. Flogic banned the Alk and the AA, both heroes who are annoying to deal with, I think, but not so much that they're impossible to deal with. And as a defensive measure against the Slaughter, Argentinian Rejects will be picking up the Tusk. So, Winter Wyvern, though, going over to the side of Flogic. A very nice hero up against Tusk, as when he comes out of that snowball with all his buddies, you could say, oh, nice thing you did there. Guess what? Winter's Curse. Now they all turn on you, buddy. So thanks for the free ride. They're going to kill you after and take your snowball and drive it away in the distance as you stand there screaming, why? Why?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Okay, they might not actually do that, but in my head, of course, they do. As bans are coming out, they're going to ban out the Slaughter, a hero we've seen used against the Slaughter in spectacular fashion. In fact, I want to say... No, it wasn't the game they casted the other day here. It was a different game. Okay. Anyways. Also seen Gyro banned out. Now, this game may not even matter, really. It could just mean that Lucchini just has to play another game to get through. Could mean everything.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Don't have a real good way to put it, to be honest.
Reserve time.
Okay, I don't know what that was, but hey, whatever. But bans are coming out very slowly for Flogic here, though. In fact, Argentinian Rejects have been ready every time. With their picks, they haven't used any reserve time, and Flogic have indeed. Okay, I am recording a VOD. Good. Just making sure. Just making sure, indeed. Of course, if you're watching in-game, don't forget to head on over to Azubu TV, where we're going to be streaming. Well, we are streaming right now. It's Truesight TV on Azubu as well. Really appreciate the support there.
Dire team ban.
We will see Spirit Breaker banned out as well. They really don't want to have to deal with these ganking initiators. They're realizing in the second phase. And Slaughter can have serious problems with that. He wants to just sprint and run away. The problem is he takes extra damage when he does that. And that's when things can fall apart pretty quickly.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Juggernaut will be the final ban now for Argentinian Rejects. They will instantly pick up the Disruptor. A very solid hero up against the Blink Initiation of Slardar. A good zoning hero as well. And surprisingly enough, Flogic will pick Ember Spirit right now as a counter to that. Not my favorite hero up against Disruptor, but it does dish out a lot of physical damage. The amp damage from Slaughter will help with that to an extent, especially if there's a crit on the target who is amp damaged. And of course, Winter Wyvern being able to defensively keep him alive is very nice as well. Against the presumed Tusk.
10 seconds
now,
remaining.
Few seconds remaining for Argentinian Reject. They don't seem quite as ready with this
5
pick.
seconds remaining.
Maybe not anticipating the Ember Spirit is. Now they really need something to stop him from escaping.
Time.
Doom won't be there. It'll be Queen of Pain, who I would assume is going to get an Orchid to try and control the Ember. Smart strategy, at the very least, here. So, the response from Flogic should be pretty interesting. I'm expecting mid Ember Spirit, excuse me. Shadow Shaman, though, will come out from them. This puts their aggression up a notch, and I'm a little surprised to see this alongside the Ember Spirit, as Ember tends to have a bit of a later timing, but I think this Ember is wanting to go aggressive, probably going to look at Drum's phase as opposed to the relatively common Boots of Travel we see nowadays.
10 seconds remaining.
So that they can push pretty early with their Shadow Shaman wards. It could also just be we need a good defensive support, and Lion has fallen off. Shadow Shaman is kind of the new next best thing. Does a lot of AoE damage as well that Lion lacks, mainly because one of his skill slots is the Mana Drain, which, albeit useful, does not do any damage, period. So, Shadow Fiend and TA getting banned out finally, as both teams a little afraid of what could be coming into the mid lane against them, as both these heroes can also safe lane very, very easily.
10 seconds remaining.
Argentinian Rejects, they've got a lot of reserve time if they want to sit here and think about it. I would imagine they have something in mind. They need a physical damage dealer. Preferably something bursty, but not necessarily. They also need something tanky that won't instantly die to Ember Spirit, and something that can stand up to the Shadow Shaman wards, which I think is one of the biggest challenges here, is actually sustaining against those Shadow Shaman wards. So, what does that? I don't know. They're in a tricky spot here. Picking up the Queen of Pain was not what I would imagine. Shadow Fiend would have been nice, at least for his damage potential and the burst he can bring as well. However, of course, he is rather squishy, and he's also banned out on top of that. So, what is it going to be? They really are taking their time here, it looks like. As actually, I just realized I need to turn on open mic briefly. And also turn off edge pan and network information, just to give you guys a more pleasurable viewing experience. Very sorry for the overwhelming production value going on right there. But it'll be a Sven. Now this is a hero who can definitely do it. They've got more additive armor against the Slaughter, which is going to be great, as well as against the Ember Spirit. At least reducing the damage of his initial hit onto the hero, although not his cleave damage. And it will let them really lock people down. They were lacking stuns, even though Tusk is on the team, and Tusk does a great job stunning, I think, with both Snowball and the Walrus Punch. Sven can stun multiple heroes at once with that AoE very easily, whereas Tusk is going to have trouble doing so with the
reserve time.
Snowball. Unless he gets a really lucky Snowball off, which is going to be a problem. And up against Shadow Shaman, you definitely need some stuns. Excuse me. So the response from Flogic here could be a mid laner to go up against Queen of Pain. It could also easily be a safe laner if they want to put Ember Spirit up against the quad mid. Ember should have a fine time against Tusk in the early game, especially with the Winter Wyvern on his side, so I don't see any problem there. But they'll grab the Wraith King. Actually, I like this a lot, actually. Doesn't easily get bursted by Queen of Pain, and even if he does, they have no mana burn whatsoever with which to take him down. And remove that chance, or not chance for a respawn, but the respawn itself. Did I? Yeah, everything's fixed. Okay, we're good. We're good. As we are going to be waiting for the Shadow Shaman to reconnect. He's restarting Steam real quick. So it shouldn't be too long. Thank you guys once again for coming out to Truesight TV. I'm SB Revolution 5, of course known as Revo, bringing you the cast tonight. If you're interested, you can always find me on social media at SB Revolution 5, aside from Facebook, which is SB Revolution 5 Dota. Sorry, I think I blew a little too hard there. Would like to remind you guys that over on Truesight TV, on Twitch, we also have a game going on for the... Oh my gosh. The E-Blade Cup. Yeah, that's what it's called. But it looks like Shaman has reconnected to the game. So, very excited to be back. Looks like we are ready to go. I'm definitely ready. I'm excited as well. Good luck, have fun comes out from the teams. We're actually going to see a very early TP down from Widge, who is going to be placing a ward to block the camp almost surely. Interested to see where he's going to put it. Yeah, the sneaky one that... Well, actually, that one is pretty easy to deward, but he actually will get one that spots the area as well. So this is kind of a backup, like, oh, we dewarded it. We're good. And then you realize you didn't, and you're in trouble. Also, we'll give Tusk the opportunity to possibly contest that pull. Let's go ahead and get some introductions underway. We've got Sheva here on the Shadow Shaman. Teseo is going to be here on the Slardar. Necro will be on the Ember Spirit. We'll have Elfin on the Winter Wyvern. And DVG on the Wraith King. It looks like they may be going for an aggressive tri-lane here. Or possibly even dual lane. I'm interested about that. On the Disruptor on the other side for Argentinian rejects, we've got Eri on the Disruptor. Frosh will be here on your Queen of Pain. We have Mael on the Tusk. Widge, of course, on that Lich, as I mentioned earlier. And up top in the safe lane, it'll be Ninja on the Sphinx. Of course, once again, I'm SB Revolution 5 for Truesight TV. Gonna be really excited to cover this one. So, in terms of lineup, I gotta say, Argentinian Rejects have drafted well. The Wraith King could really put a kink in their plans. I mean, usually you want to say, okay, I got a quick pickoff. Wraith King at least extends your team fight by a good 3 seconds. If not much more, seeing as it takes more than 3 seconds to kill him, hopefully. Now, if Sven's ult is up, those seconds are very valuable. In fact, Elfin will get a Arctic Burn hit off at least the first one, and do a decent chunk of damage to Sven. Not too much, though, and that's on cooldown for quite a while. Just saying, hey, we're trialing up here. Don't mess with us, and Lich is going to rotate up to remedy that, as well as the Disruptor. They should be fine in the one-on-one bot, though. Slaughter versus Tusk. If Tusk plays his cards right, he should be able to live through most anything with the Snowball. DVG here on the Wraith King. We'll be skilling up the stun first. I'm very interested in what his skill build is here. He's going to be able to get away with a lot, but he needs to be able to be aggressive early so that they can hit their timing with Shadow Shaman and, honestly, Winter Wyvern. Well, Winter Wyvern's not a hero that falls off late, but I believe Shadow Shaman's wards can be dealt with more easily late game. Alphen is going to go for another Winter's Arctic Burn there, as they will hold down Ninja. They'll get another stun off. Nice chain there, just to keep him from running away and stunning. However, they will grab First Blood. Sheva is going to get it. They will maybe take down DVG. Looks like they will. The salve was not enough to pick them off there. Ere is going to be glimpsing back the Winter Wyvern, but with Sven rotating up, I don't think they really want to go for this. There's not any cooldowns available for Elfin, and Sheva has literally no mana. So they will wait this out for now. Looks like Tusk honestly went down on the bot lane, unfortunately, as doesn't look like he even got any abilities off. Very interesting how that happened. I'm hating that I missed it, to be completely honest. On the mid lane, Necro will be hit with a dagger here. Frosh harassing him out and asserting her lane presence very early in this lane, even though neither have a bottle. Queen of Pain still has a bit of regen. And meantime, Winter Wyvern, I need to keep an eye on this lane, is going to be able to take down Sven, I'm assuming with the Arctic Burn once again, which does 8% of your health per second. Now, it is current health. It's not maximum health. If it was maximum health, that would actually be insane. But, I mean, think of it as like 40% of your current health per second for 5 seconds as a nuke. That is actually pretty ridiculous. I believe Level Death doesn't even do that if you're at the level threshold, so could be pretty interesting. They do actually get a salve up on Ember. He knows he's a little regen starved and didn't want to wait so long for that bottle. Now, Wraith King does move aggressively behind the tower there. You can see he has leveled attributes at this point. So, a little surprising, honestly. I do prefer a 1 point at least in the crit. The crit is very underrated, I think, by most people. You gotta realize, 150 damage this early on is what? A good 80 damage. But, I mean, if you get your crit maxed early, that's actually 180 damage. 15% chance, but when it comes, it is very shocking and very surprising. However, up against the high armor of this team in the early game, it might be a bit of a problem. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it looks like Necro is getting hit again. Frosh not diving too deep, though. He knows the danger of Searing Chains. And Necro having to wait out the dagger before he can use the salve. I'm a little surprised Frosh didn't save that Scream and try to go in for him as the dagger was wearing off. But he will be level 6 at least now, going for a 2-1-2 kind of build. And Necro will be backing off salving and picking up his bottle right now. Meanwhile, Disruptor will grab the Shadow Shaman up top as Tusk finds himself an Illusion Rune on the bottom lane. Wraith King, though, getting decent farm, actually outfarming the Sven. And for an offlaner, that will be very impressive. Now, Ninja, in a bit of trouble right now, will get bursted down and taken down by the Shadow Shaman. That extra armor won't really help you against the magical burst this team has, and that's where Shadow Shaman's Ether Shock is really going to come into effect. He is, of course, skilling up the Shackles because the extra duration on those is very useful, but I think he's going to go for more of a max Shackles, max Ether Shock, maybe get a point in the Hex, but level 1 Hex is honestly not nearly as important against this team. The Shackles, for the most part, will do a lot, and he shouldn't be caught out in situations where he needs to Hex and then Shackle another hero to prevent the other hero from doing any damage. Now, gotta keep in mind, his Shackles do a decent amount of damage as well, which helps him secure some kills to Meanwhile, amp damage actually coming out on the Tusk, but Sven is rotated down there looking for the stun. A surge forward from Sven. He'll get it off, but can they make it happen here? There is a Mango. Actually, it's not even needed. The Wand will stun Ninja for a bit, but keep in mind that extra armor, keeping him alive for now. Tessio will get glimpsed back. Can they bring him down? Another stun coming out. He knows he's going down. Doesn't quite grab the Tusk there, whose Wand will keep him alive. Meanwhile, they are going to take down the Disruptor, actually, with the creeps there. They might actually get Tusk as well. He doesn't have a snowball for 2 seconds, and I believe he's dead. As Shadow Shaman has disconnected. Looks like he's having a bit of connection issues tonight, but that's to be expected. And, of course, we're going to give them as much time as is reasonable, because you don't want to play in a decisive game of a tournament with those kind of connection issues. I mean, Flogic were the team that, one of the teams at least, that came through the open qualifiers, which we didn't cast, but we were able to see them do very well in this group. In fact, they have the potential to go all the way at this point. Anyways, Shadow Shaman is going to be coming back. Looks like Widge has the go, ready to go here. Oh, and Disruptor did, or excuse me, Tusk did end up going down there. I forgot about that one. Since we were paused for quite a bit.
Fortunes change.
Frosh is going to be caught out by the Ether Shock. Just barely here. A salve as well. He will be bottle crowing back, and Ember's going to find himself a double damage. That's probably why Shaman's staying here, not only to get extra XP, but to try and secure a kill with this double damage. As Wraith King is alone up top, will get punched, can throw a stun, but is going to end up going down. A nice pickoff for Mile there. As Sven is rotated down bot. Now, not the most favorable lane for him up against Disruptor, but at least he does have his Warcry to bail himself out of the fight, if he must. Now, Disruptor is going to be getting a very nice quad stack. No, he's not. It would have just been a triple stack anyway. And looks like they weren't quite able to get many hits in on the Quap in the mid lane at the moment. Quap, meanwhile, is farming quite well. Ember has been zoned out extensively by that dagger. And I believe she's going to be bottle crowing again as well. Wraith King. Huh. Not sure what that's going to be. Actually, Necro just setting up 2 defensive remnants just in case. Oh, because one was about to expire. Meanwhile, up top, Wraith King getting caught out by the snowball, the punch, the chain frost coming out as well. It will bounce and it'll take him down again. This Wraith King pick is currently not working too well, as he's only level 4, 7 minutes in, and he has desperately needed that ult up until now. 20 health on the Winter Wyvern. They're going to try to throw the shards. It won't quite do enough, though. Slitch is unable to close the distance, but he does have his Buckler coming out. And, of course, Tusk, now with Mana Boots, is going to be able to farm a little more. I believe he's going to be heading back to base, or they're just going to try to push the tower. But Disruptor's a bit low. In the meantime, though, Sheva is going to be in big trouble as he goes down on the bot lane, or the bot rune, rather. Frosh is going to be brought low, but not taken down once again, as Frosh is doing very well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Theo continuing to farm. He's doing great work on his Blink Dagger, and Wraith King, meanwhile, is just picking up a... Oh, he's going for Wand. And he does need some extra stats in this lane. He's had a rough time so far and needs a bit more XP. As you can see, Sven's level 6. Wraith King is on the lowest end of the spectrum in terms of hero levels right now. And that's possibly one of the most important things for Wraith King. Sheva is called out right here. He won't be able to do too much, as even if he shackled one, the other would take him down, as Tusk manages to pick him off once again with the punch. And Wraith King is forced to sit and watch and do, well, nothing at the moment. Frosh now actually getting aggressive here. Throws out the ult and gets the kill. Almost missed that one, but we did get it. And actually, Tusk makes it late to the party here. Sheva is having some serious connection issues tonight. I still think Flogic can make something happen. They really need the level 6 on Shadow Shaman, who does at least have his level 5 at this point, so that's close, but not quite there. As Sven is either going Helm or Mask of Menace. We've seen Helm picked up on Sven multiple times. I believe Mask of Menace is the classic item, but I'm not sure that'll be the case. Let's take a quick look at items while we wait here. Nothing big picked up just yet. Mile does have the mana boots. And Slaughter's making progress on his blink. Sorry, I had something in my throat there. But it looks like Shadow Shaman will be reconnecting now. Hopefully those connection issues won't persist. Mapatia del server. Something's wrong with the server, he says. So, again, big shout out to you guys for coming out. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the cast so far. As it is 7 to 8, about 10 minutes in. We got some decent action going on right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Queen of Pain sharing some good old bottle charges with Tusk, which they will be able to grab at least the top rune, I believe. Well, I say that, but Wraith King is actually rotating down, probably looking for the bounty rune. He'll get double damage, which is a perfect alternative, seeing as they are preventing Quap from getting any sort of rune. And, yeah, unfortunately, she will be left out in the cold for that. Looks like she is going for that Orchid, though. They do want to get aggressive on Quap. They know how far ahead she is. They want to make things happen. And actually, Wraith King is moving toward the jungle. There is a stack here. He could clear this with the double damage. Possibly get levels. Okay. Maybe I'll go for the other one. In the meantime, on the mid lane, Queen of Pain almost going down. Disruptor's here. Just saying, don't you jump after her. I'll just glimpse you. It's not worth it, man. Don't do it. Meanwhile, Wraith King is cleaning up a creep camp here. He has gotten himself about 200 XP, let's say. Yeah, a little over 200. So he was at about 110 last time I looked, I want to say. So inching closer to that level 6, he does pick himself up a Quelling Blade. Although I fear that that's too little too late at this point, but who knows? They want to go in on Disruptor. They'll actually pop the smoke right now. Sheva is going to get the shackles off, and though Disruptor will get his mana boots, he won't get much else. Lich Ult will bounce twice, but not enough to do any significant damage. As meanwhile, Wraith King is living on the edge at 20 HP. I'm assuming it was like a Centaur camp here, because he did not get much XP at all. As Tusk manages to get Slaughter with that stray ice shards there. I wasn't sure it was going to connect, but it turns out it did. Mile is playing excellently on the Tuskar, and I need to re-mention that if Flogic lose game 1, they've effectively lost all hope. There is no point in them playing anymore after game 1, except to say, well, we want good practice. And I remember last time they said, because there was a Deathwing given to them, and they said, we just want to get better as a team. We came in through the open qualifiers, and we're happy to have made it through that, honestly. But we could be seeing the C-Deck Dream story if they make it all the way out. Sven is going to pop his ulti here, and it looks like he's going to start farming. I like his nice balanced skill build here. Going for the cleave, just 3 points, just enough to really get farming, just enough armor to counter the Slaughter in the early game, I believe, with 10 exactly. And then just 2 points in the stun does enough. Maybe not the most efficient, but it will get the job done. Now, Necro is going to find the Queen of Pain here at the bot rune. Very nicely done for him, and it looks like a drum is coming out for him as well. He does need to have some extra stats, and he definitely needs that early aggression that he's going to be able to get out of that. Now, surprisingly enough, Wraith King just hasn't leveled his ult. He is now level 6 at least. Shadow Shaman's still barely behind. If he can find just a little more XP, if Ember will get out of his way for a moment, he'll be able to do that. It is going to be the Mask of Madness from Sven. With this item timing, they are going to smoke up. But I believe, well, I thought they knew that Sheva is going to get caught out here. That won't be the way he wants to be left alone. But now Taseo, he's coming in with a re-engagement. They let the wards drop. They may lose the Shadow Shaman in the meantime, but they pick off Sven. They do a lot of damage with those wards as well. They're not quite in range of the tower, unfortunately. But Necro, can he move forward here? He doesn't even need to use the Remnant. They'll just wait it out. Or will they, actually? I would throw a Remnant behind you and attempt to go for that. But actually, Mile is going to end up going down to the slaughter. They throw out a Quap ult. Winter Wyvern's ult will come in return. Nice Splinter Blast, and here comes DVG. He actually skilled up that ultimate now, so he can't afford to give his life away if he needs to. LG will actually block that physical damage with a Winter's Curse, forcing Quap to use the Scream now. Can they make something happen? DVG's still trying to stand and fight here, but he's getting kited. That Ice Armor is doing serious work to slow him down, and if he gets taken down with no follow-up with his ult, it'll be a wasted ulti. He'll go down now, but Shadow Shaman's back in the fight. Throwing down the Ether Shock. Sven stuns him, though. He's got the ulti up. Will it be enough damage? It looks like it will, as another one bites the dust. Argentinian Rejects seem to have only lost one, although I believe they lost 2 or 3. However, they reap the benefits of that fight with about a 600 gold swing going their way. Ninja now will find himself an Ancient Stack, and that's going to be a lot of extra damage, or extra farm coming out for him. I believe he'll be able to finish his treads, yes, right after he finishes this. So, really getting aggressive early on now. Meanwhile, Tusk is up top. That's not who I was looking for. I was looking for Farash, it looks like. Facing off with the Slaughter, but not going to be taken down just yet. Mech is now up on your Lich.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And they are continuing to stack for Sven, or at least they're trying it. Of course, once again, we have Sheva disconnected from the game. Poor guy. Of course, it wouldn't be South American Dota without pauses, now would it? His Raisin kicked the server? I don't speak Spanish, so fortunately won't be able to tell you that. Looks like he is reconnecting right now. Should be ready to go pretty soon. Does actually level up that Ether Shock, which definitely helped in the last fight. I believe he was able to spread that across 5 heroes. Even though he said G, it looks like Argentinian Rejects are not quite ready. Oh, wait, yes, they are. Okay, well, so, anytime now, you know, you want to get started. Oh, wait, he's reconnected again? What the heck? I didn't see him disconnect there. Alright, we are going to get back into the
Dire's
game.
middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has been denied.
As DVG does get caught out here.
Radiant's bottom tower
Didn't have his ult
is
up,
under
of course,
attack.
so at least that wasn't wasted, but I really am worried for this Wraith King. He is going for, well, either Helm, which is kind of unnecessary, but if you really want more lifesteal, then hey, whatever. Or,
Radiant's bottom tower
of course,
has
Armor,
fallen.
which is probably what he's going for. I don't particularly like it against this team, but it can be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Slaughter going in on the mid lane. Mile is going to get amp damage and stun, but it may cost tteSeo his life. In fact, he'll actually get glimpsed back. He'll be okay, though, just barely, but he's going to take down to that dagger, and he can't be careful enough. Ember will go down. Frosh gets a triple kill, and the wards go down, but don't do nearly enough. Sheva could be in some trouble here. If he can't get out in time, the whole team wants to go for him, and he has no escape possible. Does have 11 wand charges, but it won't be enough there.
Under attack.
To get him down. 4 fall for Flogic, and I'm sure their hopes are falling quickly as well. But the game is not over till it's over, of course. And if they can get about level 11 on this Wraith King, he can get a big item up of some sort. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a drum. Actually, it wouldn't be great to be a drum, because I believe Ember, has his drum now.
Radiant's
Extra for
middle
treads,
tower
but
is under
he does
attack.
need to tank up against a bit, respecting the magic damage of the enemy team. I think that's smart. However, we can see the difference between these two heroes. Quap is now about 3k gold ahead of Ember Spirit with a completed Orchid 17 minutes in. Ember Spirit is struggling to even come online and even be a factor here, even though he has been able to go 2-2-2. Now, they do catch Queen of Pain out with the Sentry Ward. Can they take him down? They will. And that's going to be big. They might get the Tusk as well. It looks like they will. And the Core's picking up the kills here. Can they grab Slaughter? They'll glimpse back the Ember Spirit. But I don't think he cares as he throws down a Remnant and says, oh no, you don't. Get back here, you. Slam comes out from the Slardar. And it's going to be a 3rd kill for him. Make it a 4th possibly with Widge here, who's in a lot of trouble. The bash comes from Slaughter, and Necro wants to fight. They're looking for blood, and they found it. Argentinium Rejects lose 4 in a quick return. They even get Wraith King a tower kill there, which will complete his armlet and have him with a good 400 to spare. To go with a huge fight for Flogic as they turn it around, and all because they had a Sentry Ward in the mid lane. Quap thought she could just get away with it. But no.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now, we will see
Radiant's top
Slardar
tower
stalling with the
is
snowball.
under
It'll mean Eric goes down pretty easily here. But as you can see, this fight, Flogic suddenly look like they're in control once again. Rather than being caught out. Nice positioning from the Serpent Wards. They're going to do work on the tower while they take the fight here. Now there's a big Quap ult coming through. It will bring down Wraith King. It will bring down tteSeo. But Necro moves forward with some Searing Chains. It looks like they will be able to find him. The stun coming out on Frosh. It won't be enough to completely bring him down, but it keeps him from causing any more mayhem. They should be able to get the tower here, as well as the 3 kills they've been able to achieve. Although the Tusk Sigil will slow them down slightly. It looks like Quap is going to try to deny, or Sven is maybe going to try to deny. No, they will get the tower indeed. Ninja does have enough for the Blink Dagger if that's what he's going for, but at this point BKB may be necessary. I mean, you blink in and Shadow Shaman says, oh, nice. I'm gonna stun you. And then what do? Now Silence does come out on Necro here. He's gonna try to man fight. He's actually doing considerable damage. Will actually bring him low enough for DVG to secure the kill. And I'd say that's completely worth it. You end this Queen of Pain's killing spree. And since she has more net worth, she's worth more money. So Wraith King, able to pick that up very easily. Flogic have definitely caught back up. Although the game is still technically in Argentinian Reject's favor, they've managed to get some push done. They still have one tier 1 tower to get through. But that's a full blink on Wraith King, and just a few minutes ago I was wondering if he'd even be able to pick up an armlet.
Illusion.
Now he's managed to turn it around, so they are holding on, and this is the team that this game really matters for them. Sven actually is going to go Sanjin Yash. Okay, I actually like this pickup. I was saying he might want to go Blink. He can't go for a naked Blink here because he will not have the health to stand up to Shadow Shaman and Winter Wyvern with their lockdown. So the Sanjin Yasha is going to give him a little bit of everything, and the initiation is going to be there in the form of move speed. He should actually be able to pop Warcry and get... he'll have a bonus... What is it? Oh, as he's caught out now. Oh, wait, nice snowball save from the Tusk. As he comes in here, he's going to roll on to Sluddar. Sluddar will end up turning on them as the Winter's Curse comes down. Now Lich Ult coming through. It's going to bounce twice, 3 times, 4 times as it takes one down. It's looking for Wraith King again. It won't quite bring him down, but the creeps are there. Can it bounce again? Looks like it can't. Ember Spirit into the fight. There was a buyback into this fight. I'm not really sure who it was. I believe it was the Tusk, though. As Winter Wyvern may get caught out, he'll throw a Splinter Blast at least. Ember Spirit going down. Elfin will block that magic, or physical damage, rather. But not enough, as Sven's ult will bring him on down. But they lose 2 supports and a core who got quite a lot out of that fight. And if I'm not mistaken, yep, Wraith King's ult is not used in that fight. Didn't have it anyway, but the armlet toggle keeping him alive, so. Although I flamed the armlet toggle earlier, mostly because of the Queen of Pain Dagger and the Disruptor Static Storm, it worked out beautifully here. So, however, that's a Blink Dagger up on Disruptor. And, yeah, that's not really good. And that's a dieback now from Sluddar, although it's not instant. And he did at least help his team out with something. But now a Solar Crest complete on the Sluddar. He says, you're going to pick up some extra armor? That's real cute. I'm just going to pick up some extra armor reduction, and then we'll be even again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And he goes in with the Crush. Frosh is in a bit of trouble. If he gets a bash, he won't get it in time. And the silence from Queen of Pain will actually cause him to take a slight bit more damage, but not too big of an issue. Does at least bring Frosh to half health and force him to think about retreating a bit. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, the Lich Ult does come out. Ninja doing a lot of damage to Necro, or at least he hopes, as the Shaman wards go down. No! Managed to grab him with that, and this is where a BKB would really come in handy for this Finn. But a big ult from Quap! They will actually dodge most of it, I believe, with Necro. Although he did take a lot of damage, they do manage to secure the kill, and that's a Quap ult with nothing to show for it. Nada. Necro dropped pretty low, but his wand charges as well as Winter Wyvern will keep him up. Have a little Fallout 4 Cryo Freeze. How about it? They're actually going to crush down the... Oh, someone. And Tessio will back up as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
24-24 all tied up once again, and same for the gold lead. XP is not quite as much, but a lot of the gold, I believe, is going to come from towers for Flogic. And there's more comeback gold than there is comeback XP. Being behind in levels can lead to a very rough game. At least I believe that's the case. Taking a look at our items, we do see Sven not making much progress. In fact, he doesn't have much gold to show for it either. Quap is either going Ags or BKB.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Both are equally useful here, I think. Well, not equally, but similarly at least. I'm not really sure which one's better per se. I think you want both by the end of the game for sure, though. if anything, you could maybe do without the Ags. Or, well... Yeah, I think you need the BKB up against Shadow Shaman. This patch is Skywrath. He forces you to build a BKB, having 2 disables. Now, they are going to be able to do a lot of damage to Roche, at least. But up top, it looks like the tower is going to fall here. I don't even think they need to spin Shaman Wards. Are there TPs? There's TPs on everyone for the Dire team. It looks like they're paying out the tier 2, just saying we TP there. Maybe they smoke? They don't have a smoke. Okay. The courier could potentially meet them there if it hurried. But as they still have wards here, they're very happy with this trade. They don't have to spin an ult to get it. And I believe, yep, Sven's ult was used. So they really want to wait about 45 seconds here. And I think they're anticipating a rotation. Okay, maybe not. They're actually going to go straight toward the mid tier 2. If they cross too close to that tier 2, they actually will hit it. Oh, they've seen them on the bot lane now for sure. So we'll be able to move on down where the fight's going to take place. Can they take down the tower in time? That's going to make a big difference in this fight. Notice also how Tusk and Disruptor are staying nice at the back of the fight here, ready to counter-initiate with their Blink Dagger, Snowball, etc., potentially to save Quap, especially on the Tusk's part. Who is one of the more vulnerable heroes right now. I believe they just got spotted. Wards go down from Shadow Shaman. They want some kills here. Shadow Shaman may end up falling, but he sets up a nice cluster of heroes around there. Quap ult whiffs completely, except for some creeps. She'll blink back. Disruptor ult trying to hold a few heroes in place, but not doing a great job as it didn't land on nearly enough. Wraith King will go down, but that pops his ult. It actually does slow Slardar at that, or excuse me, Tusk at that range. And there's the blink forward from Wraith King. He does manage to stun up the Disruptor, looking for Quap now. Can he get it? The Searing Chains are actually keeping her down. She has a blink, 27 HP, manages to blink away. Can they follow her? Wraith King, he's got to blink himself, but he wants the big guns, and Spin is going to be his target here. There's still a Aegis available, but they will at least be able to bring him down once. Now, Spin, armor toggle, thank you. As he will be able to fight this again. In fact, I don't think he's even having to do much damage, as Finn ends up going down. A beautiful fight from Flogic, and I believe they only lost their supports, and of course the Wraith King ulti there. Wraith King is going for what appears to be a Sanjin Yasha as well. I mean, these teams want to fight, and they know the other team wants to fight them, so why not pick up one of the better fighting items in the game? And speaking of an item that's actually a farming item for this hero, or a fighting item for this hero, although it's a farming item on most, it's the Battle Fury up for Ember Spirit. 27 minutes in. Now, just 10 minutes ago, he only had a drum and treads to his name. He's managed to farm up a full Battle Fury. About 400 gold per minute. They're not the most impressive, but definitely catching back up. They're trying to find him here with Disruptor, but thanks to the ward on the high ground, which I'm sure Argentinian rejects are going to realize is the case now, they do manage to spot him out. They'll actually juke out the Slaughter. Slaughter can make it away from this, I would imagine. Although with Lich coming in, they're going to do some damage on the Ember Spirit. He doesn't have a Remnant up, but here comes Wraith King to possibly protect. There's, well, no Remnant available, period, at the moment. They'll get some Searing Chains off. Nice Glimmer Cape usage there as well. As DVG comes on in, they'll get stunned. Winter's Curse on the back lines to stop the Disruptor from doing anything in this fight, especially laying down that kinetic field, which will now go down. They will bring down Tusk, though, as they do lose down Slaughter. 2. Necro is silenced up, but he hasn't taken really any damage whatsoever in this fight. And now Wraith King is going to be under, well, putting people under fire. There's a chains out on Quap, meaning she can't continue to chase here, but she might still look for the Wraith King here. He's on 200 HP. He doesn't have an ulti up, although he is level 15.
Top tower is under attack.
And he could very soon have that available. They've seen him now, and they know he's escaped, but there. Very action-packed game, very action-packed fights as well. So we're up to almost 60 kills in 30 minutes. Necro now silenced up. It will drum and TP. And they use the Quap ult. That was a desperation ult. Argentinian rejects are grasping at straws to keep Flogic out of the playoffs at this point. Sheva continuing to stack. He does have a point booster just to help himself tank up, which has been necessary in these fights in order to get off a few spells, as well as the extra mana pool. I'm not sure if he's actually going to go for an axe. It would be nice, but I think a blink dagger would be much more beneficial at the moment. Just having this casual point booster into the blink could help him out a lot. So Ninja, in the meantime, is going to go after the Winter Wyvern.
You should not have crossed me.
And Wraith King, wait a second, what was that? Oh, it's a Heaven's Halberd. For a second, I actually thought he had Divine Rapier. And no, I'm not kidding. I mean, they both tilt the same direction. They both have a point of light on one end. I mean, you can't really blame me for that, but it was pretty stupid of me to even think. Sanj into Divine Rapier. Yep. That makes sense.
All mine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You know, they want to go after this Lich since he is alone up top. They will actually get the crush off. They'll amp damage as well. There's no TPs coming in yet. One of them will ping it out and realize, hey, something needs to happen here. Lich has a Ghost Scepter to keep him alive for now. They will kite efficiently. They actually get a okay bounce off, but not nearly enough. The Soon Chains do come out. Ember Spirit, though, will glimpse himself away. Meanwhile, though, the sun will still connect. It can't be disjointed by that Fire Remnant. Couldn't we name that something other than Activate Fire Remnant? Like, it's just such an awkward thing to say. Because all other skills except for, like, what is it, Breathe Fire are a noun? And that's a verb?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like, we could just call Dragon Knight's thing Breath of Flames. Could just call Embers... I don't know what we call Embers, but Valve would come up with something.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Something better than Activate Fire Remnant. Anyways. Slaughter does get an amp damage off on this fan. It does seem odd that Warcry doesn't purge. Like, it just seems like it would, but I feel like that might be a little too strong. Meanwhile, after moving forward with the blink, they'll get a big ult off from him and Quap. DVG is probably going to have to pop his ult here unless he can toggle his armlet nice enough, which he may just be able to do if he times it around that dagger. He will get a good Winter's Curse off, and they'll slow everyone as well. But BKB, as well as the ult from Spin here, will grab Sheva, or at least he hopes. The Glimmer Cape coming out. Can he juke enough? He actually manages to blink away and get past the Spin. They're staying alive for the moment, but DVG's caught in the middle. He will stun up Arnie. They can't seem to get the rest of the team in here. Can they grab Frosh? It doesn't look like they can. And now these two heroes are in the wrong side of the woods. Manages to blink away. Ember Spirit picking up his blink in the fountain as well, as he is going to try to lead them on a wild goose chase. Can he throw the Remnant? He can't actually. Oh, he's already got one. As Queen of Pain does manage to pick off Shadow Shaman. However, they are spending a lot of time to do this. Slaughter will be up in 20. So they cannot easily push a tower at the moment.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not to say they won't try. So, things slowing down just a little bit. We do see a slight advantage over to Argentinian Rejects, but neither team getting over the 7K mark in terms of gold. Now, in terms of XP, Argentinian Rejects has a pretty hefty advantage, holding on to their lead for earlier. but that's beginning to matter a bit less, as everyone but the supports are at least level 15. The two supports on the Radiant side are mainly what's holding you back from that, but they are doing a lot of holding on to or staying near the allied heroes so that they can keep them alive and whatnot. Actually, are going to go into Roche Pit. A little interesting from Winter Wyvern there. Sven will actually have his Blink Dagger up now. So this is his 5th slot, and this is where the Sange and Yasha comes into question. If you're going to plan to go Blink on Sven, every item slot really counts, because one of those slots will not give you any strength, will not give you any damage. Now, I do like Sange and Yasha a bit better than Daedalus at the moment, because it gives him more base strength. But as he levels up and takes advantage of his strength gain naturally, I believe a crit would definitely give him a bit more damage. It may even give him more damage now. I'm not 100% sure. They do know about this, though, or at least they think. They're going to try to grab Disruptor a blink away, though. Sven popping the ult. He'll blink forward, and he'll get a stun, but it's a long-range one. They can't quite engage here. Cheva is going to try to shackle him. He will get it off in time, but he's grabbed up by the tusk before Shadow Shaman can do much of anything. He drops the wards. Doesn't quite manage to trap him, as Queen of Pain comes in with an ult as well. Disruptor blinking forward, and they'll punch the Shaman into the air. Meanwhile, in the back line, Slaughter has managed to get away from Sven, and now that BKB is down. They're looking for Sheva. They can take him down. DVG, though, is just waiting around these wards. Meanwhile, Roche still in the pit, still standing, of course. Winter Wyvern trying to move in here. Nice defensive kinetic field there from the Disruptor. They do have a Slithering Crush coming on in, and it looks like Wraith King will be able to chop down the Disruptor with that crit. A snowball forward trying to save people, but wasn't quite in range there, as DVG will manage to get that. They are actually going to grab Queen of Pain with the Ember Spirit. And they will manage to hold, leaving 4 heroes alive, and this should secure them a Roche. However, Archie and Reinessa definitely knows about this. They have 2 of their great initiating heroes, except for Sven is going back toward mid. They're just going to give it up. Okay. I don't think you want to fight this team again, even without the Shadow Shaman wards up. The Winter's Curse is still there, and Wraith King's ult is still up as well. However, they are going to Sven ult and, well, stun Wyvern on the cliff. Looks like he will get down, and they're going to be able to pick off Tusk very quickly here. And again, these are kills that do not accomplish much of anything. In fact, Ember Spirit looking for Sven. Where is the camera? Holy crap. Okay, there we go. As actually, Sven manages to turn to Sio with that evasion, manages to evade the critical. But it won't quite be enough. There's a stun coming out on Disruptor. He does have a glimpse available if he wants to get rid of the Ember Spirit here, who does get stunned, but he's actually glimpsed back. That's not great, as actually Ember does manage to get out of the kinetic field and everything. I believe he's dusted up, but they can't really chase him very easily here. Not to mention that Glimmer Cape is already worn off. Frosh coming forward as well. They already did pop the Aegis at least, but...
Haste in everything but judgment.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's take a look at the net worth here. Sven is sitting on the top still, but Wraith King and Ember are catching up. Wraith King... Okay. I don't particularly like his late game presence. Everything else is mediocre, to be completely honest. And he's easily kited, especially by heroes who can blink, or have bought a blink, in the case of Sven. They do have a gem up on the Lich, preventing that Glimmer Cape from doing too much work next fight. However, I don't think Wraith King is really the concern here. He's more of a time buyer for Ember, a space creator, if you will. A space bar, if you will. Haha, I know, whatever. Ember is going to be quite a threat late game. He's already a threat right now. After a relatively poor early game, he's managed to bounce right back. And Get back on top of the leaderboard. Well, not on top, but toward the top anyway. We are going to see Frosh picking up what I'm assuming is a Shiva's Guard. That's actually going to be very nice to slow the attack speed, lower the bash chance. They couldn't quite get the Hex off. Unfortunate Blink Initiation there. Glimpse him back. That's a glimpse on cooldown for a good 15 seconds or so. It's actually 18, okay. As he has picked up that point booster, 1200 from an actual Academics, which could be very big as Wraith King, of course, would not be able to toggle. Slaughter, well, couldn't do much of anything. As well as just the increased damage being a major factor. So, bottom tower is their next target, it looks like, as they have pinged out. They are going to go to bot and completely push out the lane, not going to try to creep skip. However, it will give Argentinian Rejects some time to push this mid off of their actual racks and actually smoke up. I don't think that smoke was spotted. If it was, they would have pinged it out, surely. Nice, Sheva. Giving us the good old gray face, no space.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Haste.
Meanwhile, Haste Rune is up for the Tusk.
Radiant's middle tower
Just
is
to
under
try
attack.
to trade push. It looks like they will be able to trade tier 2 towers. Things are even. Ember Spirit setting up a safety remnant just in case. As a pause comes out at a very awkward moment, but I'm sure Flogic is totally cool with that, seeing as they've had some problems with their Shadow Shaman. Luckily, Shadow hasn't had a lot of problems. Hopefully, I'm not caster cursing him at the moment. Let's see, yes, sir. Okay, the Courier is bringing a full Assault Cuirass to this Wraith King, which is going to help them siege a lot more. What the heck? Okay, it looks like somebody went to the bathroom, so... Okay. Looks like someone else has to go to the bathroom. Speaking of which, if you need to go to the bathroom, it's probably a great time to do so, or it was, at least. So it could be, Hush you. I don't know if you guys heard that, but... trying to tell me iTunes needs my attention, I'm like... My attention is focused elsewhere at the moment. Please wait.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
On the mid lane. They are going to try to trade racks here. If I had to rank them in terms of pushing power, I'd actually say the Argentinian Rejects have a much stronger push. But if they can get the AC here from the Wraith King and have Ember Spirit defending, they should be able to trade evenly. Especially with the defensive wards drop from Shadow Shaman. I don't think this fight goes very well for Argentinian Rejects now at this point at all. As Ninja is going forward, he's going to get Sheva, but Sheva did at least delay the push with that. There's a silence out on Ember Spirit. He does have a buyback available. The Wraith King now with the AC, though, is going to continue to push the bot lane. He has been able to get the melee racks, which have almost fallen here for the Radiant. They will indeed. The range could be under fire now. He will TP back, though. A large wave of creeps is going to finish off the ranged here which means it is indeed a profitable trade from Flogic, even if they had to buy back on the Ember Spirit. Completely worth it. They get a full Rax. Only a melee Rax goes to the side of Argentinian Rejects, and it is said that, yes, there are more melee creeps, so that's more important, but I would argue that since the range creeps do more damage, they're the most important to have as Megas.
Most gracious. All mine.
Although having more Megas than your opponent is really the most important thing. Just in terms of more types of Mega. Want to diversify your Mega portfolio, if you will.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures
PDG going
are
to continue
fortified.
pushing right now. Being a bit careful, there is a Hex coming out on the other side onto Ninja, which will actually manage to go Scepter and protect himself from Slaughter. They'll take down the Shaman. The Shaman is just a decoy at this point, as DVG is on the front lines. He says, go ahead, hit me. I dare you. Oh wait, you're disarmed. What you gonna do now, bro? What you gonna do? You're gonna take me down? Okay. Ember should be recharging right now. Let's fight. Oh, wait. No, not gonna do it just yet. There's actually a blink forward and also a glimpse back, as a bit of miscommunication here from Argentinian Rejects. DVG, though, does have more than enough for the buyback as well. Can they get the Ember in here? It looks like he's already backed off. They do get another tower, though, and they get a pretty big wave of creeps into the bottom lane as well. Keep in mind, Flogic need to win both of these games in order to have a shot at advancing to the playoffs. If they don't win the second game, they can't get anywhere. It's not going to happen. But if they can't get this first game, the second game is pointless, to be completely honest.
Fortunes change.
Twice struck.
Double damage up on the Disruptor now. Do you see Ember Spirit with the data list complete at this point? Sorry for my moment of silence there. Just taking a moment to think. So they are going to continue to farm up. Golden XP are only slightly in the favor of Argentinian Rejects once again, although XP much more in their favor. I still feel like late game Ember Spirit can really shine, as he's now just picked up his next big damage item, knowing he doesn't have a buyback available. They're going to go for Roche. Unfortunately, though, there's still another minute to go. Looks like they're going to look on the other side. They do have... Shaman does not have a TP. Uh-oh. The Courier is actually headed to Shaman. Slaughter does not have a TP either. However, of course, Argentinian Rejects can't push out very far due to the Mega Creeps that are pushing into the bot lane. Or at least Super Creeps, excuse me. I've been calling them Megas this whole time. My apologies for that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Top tower will be taking a few hits. Ember will TP back to defend it. And, well, I thought he had a Remnant up, but apparently not. He can take care of creep waves very easily, though. I mean, I've played many a game as Ember with my back against the wall, having to just wait for a creep wave, press W, click, wait for another creep wave. And you can get a lot of farm this way. They cannot easily push high ground if Ember's alive, which makes him the priority #1 target. And very scary if he gets silenced. There is that BKB up on Queen of Pain, and actually it looks like she's going for an AC as well. She can buy it out, but of course it will forfeit her buyback at the moment. And her buyback is very important. In fact, I'd say she is actually farm priority #1, as Finn is going full on damage. Now, he does not have a slot at the moment for a TP. And this could spell his downfall. When you're up against any kind of Rax being down, you've got to hold on to your TP. Actually, Quap does buy out the AC, so does not have a buyback available at the moment for Quad. Never mind, she actually had it in the courier. I'm just an idiot. As Radiant will be able to secure Roche very, very quickly here. I mean, Roshan's going to be at negative 20 armor with the Solar Crest on him. Well, negative 16, whatever. In fact, they are so full of items, they don't even have room to pick up the cheese. And now's the time to do something, if you're going to do it. It looks like a smoke coming out for Argentinian rejects now. Right? Guys? Hang on. Just want to walk into the fountain for no reason. Disruptor's not smoked now, but he does need to stay at the back of the fight and try to counter-initiate. However, they're going to go straight to mid. Looks like the enemy team's going to try to wrap around, although there's a bit of a mixed consensus on this. They do have a glyph available. And there's Finn. He actually gets it off, but now he's stunned up. He does have a Lotus Orb popped on him, but it will mean nothing as he gets taken down almost instantly. Hexed up as well, and, well, nothing they could do. They do take down Shadow Shaman, but he was able to hex the spin and force out a buyback already. Now, Wraith King will go down once. It's not gonna, okay, it will slow them. My apologies. I thought that was the Aegis respawning. I forget which order it happens in sometimes. This Necro will get glimpsed back. Snowball trying to change direction. They will actually go straight back into the base of Necro. Not exactly my decision. Not the decision I would make, anyway. As he actually has an Orchid available. Does have the Aegis, keep in mind. Not the Wraith King. Slaughter has fallen here. They did do a decent chunk of damage to the melee barracks. And it looks like Ember will make it out for a moment. But they are there to take him down. Now that is the death after buyback, so he is dead for 110 seconds. Does have a buyback available, though. So. And they did get a little bit of permanent damage done to the range barracks as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, the creeps are even pushing in top with quite the wave of range creeps. Tusk will be able to take most of those down, but not before they've done significant enough damage to almost warrant a deny. In fact, now you can deny. He's going to be forced to punch a siege creep. Gonna have to smack a hoe. So Argentinian rejects are hanging on. Keep in mind, this has to be a 2-0 for Flogic in order for them to make it to the playoffs.
Is under attack.
Double damage.
For the treasury.
They may just be waiting out buybacks at this point, to be completely honest. I'm going to group up. Just taking their time now. I've gotten a Lincoln's up on, I believe, someone. Slaughter to put on the Ember to hopefully block that silence. Of course, keep in mind the enemies shouldn't see this, I believe. It's a little funny to see that Lincoln's Orb bouncing around so much, but actually do get a blink in from Spin. They can't get the Winter's Curse off in time. as the Disruptor ult does some serious damage. They'll take down Shadow Shaman and Wraith King as well. But of course, that Wraith King gonna slow him down. It was a trap all along, boys, as Necro waits for that next Sleight of Fist. That's gonna be a death from Ninja, I believe. Buyback on cooldown. Can he stay alive? He's on 47 HP. The stray hit from Ember Spirit will take him down. However, it looks like it might just be a team wipe. Needs to use that cheese. He will eat it in time, but can he get away? He throws the Spirit. Can he activate that Fire Remnant in time? He can't make it out, though, as it's a 5-man wipe from Argentinian Rejects going the way of Flogic. However, they do have 3 buybacks, excuse me. And they did have to commit quite a lot for that, and they did lose the Sven, who is arguably the greatest pusher the world has ever seen on the side of Argentinian Rejects. Although Quap is starting to make a name for herself in the world of pushing with her newfound Assault Cuirass technology, we have the technology.
Worthy tribute.
Meanwhile, similar wave of range creeps and siege creeps moving into the top lane. 117 health on that tower. And I would be wavering to say that they need to deny this as well. Oh, they won't quite get it. Those siege creeps hit a little too hard, and Sheva, he's going to get Lotus Orbed up. He'll actually be saved from some magic damage like this. Can he lock down Quap in time? At least lays down the Serpent Wards. Even if he may not be able to do it, the Lotus Orb will return some damage there, and he will end up going down. Ember Spirit forced to buy back. Nice Winter's Arctic Curse Burn thing from Elvin, as BKB is popped on Tusk as well, I believe. Yep, that was the 9-second BKB at least. In the meantime, though, the middle tower gets taken down by the Radiant Creeps, and there is no Sven here to defend as Wraith King finally picks up a BKB. I thought he already had one. Oh well, guess he did not. He's going to be marching down the mid lane as well. Meanwhile, Frosh trying to counter push top a bit. That AC helping him dish out the physical damage very nicely. We'll be TPing home though, as there is a smoke coming in hot from the Radiant team, or coming in smoky anyway. CO looking for him, but he's not going to be able to find him in time. Real Slithering Crush, I believe they still think he's there. Have they seen him here? I don't have a ward in the base. Maybe it's just that 6th sense stuff.
Dire's middle barracks.
Meanwhile, we are going to see Wraith King going on in.
Dire's middle barracks.
BVG trying to do some damage. They do get the wards down, but there's not enough damage coming after them. And Ninja, he pops his BKB, but he's just not finding a target. In fact, he's trying to save the racks, I guess. Not doing much, though. Ember Spirit comes in, does do some serious damage, but not quite enough. The melee rack still stands for the moment, but not for very long, as Disruptor is down. They have no way to kind of anti-kite the Wraith King.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Now there is the Walrus Punch coming out from Tusk. BKB is popped now. And Snowball is doing Lotus Orb things. I don't know how to explain that. They actually do keep Elfin up for a moment. Quapot will bring him back down. The blink in from Wraith King. No, the big Lich ult doesn't bounce very much. As meanwhile, there's red alert. The Ancient is actually under attack. Somebody's got to deal with it. Ninja will buy back and try to do it. They'll take down Wraith King, but that's just an ulti down. He'll blink forward and look for more. Mile could be going down here. That's actually an ult used from Spin. They do get a Slithering Crush off. Lotus Orb on the Tusk. Can they bring him down? They will, as that's going to be a buyback from him as well. The Ancient is still under attack, and it could be going down any minute. As Argentinian rejects, they bring down the Wraith King. They'll take down Slardar as well, but Shadow Shaman, where's he? Oh, he's trying to make the rat play. He's trying to move in. They will have Ember Spirit keeping them busy for now. He's going to go down. He's down for a good little while with that buyback being factored. But the Ancient's now at half health. And it keeps dropping a little by little. Flogic in the meantime. Just biding their time. They got a lot out of that push with that damage on the Ancient. I mean, it does regen, yes, but it's going to be 1,000 seconds, basically, before it, or let's just say 700 seconds before it regens itself. That's well over 5 minutes. I believe they can make something happen before then. Meanwhile, there will be an Aegis coming up, I believe, for the Tusk? Or the Quap, surely. Well, Tusk doesn't have a buyback. Or, well, neither does Quap. Okay, so... yeah. It is going to be the Quap there. Tusk will probably pick up the cheats. Yep. And TP back home. While the Rack's still managing to stand here, range barracks untouched, actually, as the gym is on the ground. They don't have anyone to really put it on at the moment, as item slots are filling up fast. There will be finally a Blink Dagger up on the Winter Wyvern, who had been saving for buyback and still has it, mind you. As well as an extra TP just in case, because Wraith King definitely doesn't have a slot at this point, and doesn't really need it, as he has boots to travel. Meanwhile, the Tusk picking up smoke. They're going to look to make the play. But is the play makeable, honestly? My concern for them is if they leave their base too long, the game will end. It'll just end. The creeps will be like, hey, nobody's home? Okay, well, we're going to take down your Ancient. Finally, we get to be heroes for once. However, that's not to say that Argentinian rejects can't do it. They will use the Sigil to scout out here. They are not smoked at the moment, which I find a bit interesting. They just still have it, maybe. It's on the Courier. And the Radiant, of course, going to play it safe. Not going to take any unnecessary risks here. They know that eventually, as you can see Wraith King drawing right now, that the Ancient is going to fall, and they still have their buybacks, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just sort real quick here. We got 3 buybacks on the Radiant. Slaughter a bit away from his, but as long as he's gotten an amp damage on. And Shadow Shaman's is down, as he was trying to make the backdoor play last time. That smoke's still on the Courier. I think they're going to look to smoke on the high ground. Okay, Spin, what are you doing? You do not have a buyback. You do not have an Aegis. You have nothing, sir. Good day. Uh-oh. Ninja in some trouble. He will get hexed, but there's a counter initiation from the Tusk. They may keep Ninja alive here. BKB is popped, and he'll blink forward. He has to find something because his BKB is down for a good minute now. However, with Flogic backing off, I'm not sure that'll be a huge issue. Actually, Frosh moving forward. Doesn't have the ult stick, I believe. Yeah, so can't really just afford to throw out the ulti whenever. And at this point, I'd honestly say a Refresher might be better than Ags for him. It may just... well, that's crazy. What am I saying? Refresher's only really going to be better than Ags if it's going to secure some dieback kills. As in, you kill them after they buy back kills. Yeah. Aegis is getting reclaimed in 2 minutes, and so far it's done nothing but buy some time that they may not even be able to use. So we are hitting the 63-minute mark in this game. Things getting pretty intense, you know. Hope you guys are enjoying the cast, though, trying to keep it interesting, albeit a long one. That's for sure.
Fortune's changed.
We're gonna move up here, smoked up as well. This could be the fight. I can feel it. Frosh gets the Hex off on Elfin. They'll get the stun off, but they do go for the snowball forward. Elfin trying to counter-initiate, can't do much, does manage to at least Winter Scarf Frosh, whose Aegis will finally get used. In the meantime, the top Rax is under attack, and no one's there to defend it. Except the creeps now. As Lich Ult begins to bounce twice, as the Lotus Orb makes that happen. Lich, or actually Shadow Shaman on the other side of the fight. Quap Ult will take down the Winter Wyvern there. Can they get something else? It looks like Shadow Shaman will end up going down. Queen of Pain picking him up as Wraith King brings down the Disruptor, who will buy back, but he will slow everyone down. The top Rax still under attack a little bit, but it looks like those creeps have died off. They'll stop Frosh as Ember Spirit trying to get away from the fight. DVG is stranded here. Does not have another ulti available, but does have his buyback available if he can find it. Ninja is going to try to take him down. He's just getting mini-stunned by that MKB, and he will end up falling. It's a 4-for-0 trade, even though there were multiple buybacks, I believe. Maybe just one. Okay, there was a death, but of course the Aegis was used as well. And overall, 6 BKDs were used as well. It's actually Ember Spirit. He's getting silenced up over here, but they don't have any further chase potential at the moment. As they do have to get back, because guess what? Nobody's home. The creeps are going to throw a party in your base.
Ancient is under attack.
Oh yeah. Look at that. He's like, I'm a super creep now. I'm hitting that. Oh, I'm dead? Wait, what? Did they just... Okay. Well then. Not sure I can condone using the Lich ult on creeps, but whatever.
Arms for the dead. They'll never see this coming.
Disruptor still invised up. We have a few more buybacks available now. As Quap has hers farmed up. They're still waiting on some gold for the Radiant buybacks. But again, they're buying their time and spending it well. They did somehow lose that range backs eventually. I don't remember when that was, to be completely honest. Lich does now have an Aghanim Scepter, which, that's Disruptor, sorry. Anyways, oh dear. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's all I'm going to say on that subject. Okay, we're ready now. Mic rip. Oh dear. That was unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Reluctant sees Finn going hard onto CO, who does not have a buyback. They do spend a Quap ult on that, which is down for over 2 minutes. First respawns in about a minute as well. Although, I'm not sure who has an item slot to carry it at this point. As once again, the Ancient is under attack. Ember Spirit has made his way into the base. And he blinks out. Where did he go? Either way, he baits out the Disruptor ulti, which is a,
Don't mind if I do.
a feat in itself. The Rat Dota is real, ladies and gentlemen.
Illusion.
One second here. Just waiting for the next big fight, you know? Wake me up when the fight starts, boys. That's when it's my turn to go. Till then, I'm just gonna sit here. Smile and wave. Necro is gonna TP back a bit. Looks like they want to push out mid as well. That's the one problem, is that this or super creep, rather, lane on mid is countered by the super creep lane on the enemy mid. And uh-oh. Shaman made it out to the fountain. Boots of Travel picked up on Spin in the place of a potential crit. I will admit I don't particularly like that choice. I feel like him having the crit would be more beneficial at the moment. But obviously Boots of Travel are necessary. Have been necessary for a while.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Rosh is going to go down though.
To the diet.
Nothing the Radiant could really do about that. They do get the Aegis up on Quap once again, who has 2,600 in the bank. I didn't get to see who had cheese. I'm assuming Tusk. No? It must be Disruptor. Yeah, he's got the cheese. Okay. He's got the cheese. Nope, Ember Spirit wants to make a go for it. At least bait out the extremely long 20 second or so cooldown, 15 seconds actually, of that Lotus Sword. Kappa. Flogic though, still not sitting in the cold lead. What is this? As XP is at least sitting in favor of Argentinian rejects again. Those supports have had a rough time, but everybody's level 16. It's just stats from there on out, to be honest. Which can't be a big deal, I mean. Now Frosh. Gonna be in a little bit of trouble.
Dire's Ancient is under
But the
attack.
Ancient taking a little more damage from these range creeps. Just chipping away at it. They actually have heroes in the base now. I'm a little surprised Shadow Shaman didn't bring him drop wards. However, they're looking for Slaughter to initiate so they can then drop the wards. He missed his crush, and he could be going down. The top racks on the Radiant side are now under attack. And Dire's Ancient is under attack. They got the wards down. They're going for it with Ember Spirit on one side. Can they make the trade here? Doesn't look like they quite can. Wraith King will be back to defend. They do chip away at it, but that is Shaman wards on cooldown for a good 2 minutes. poking at it, and even against the Aegis, they're not really that afraid at this point. At 72 minutes on the clock.
A soldier's fortune.
Over 100 kills. Well, 101, actually. This game is indeed getting late, and I am getting hungry. Guys, don't forget, in between the games, head over to Truesight TV on Twitch and check out the game that's going on there. It's the lower bracket game in the E-Blade Cup. Now, this could be where Argentinian Rejects turn it and crush the hopes and dreams of all the Flogic players. Oh, they glimpse back to Slaughter. He does not have a buyback. But the snowball from the Lotus Orb manages to save him. They get a Queen of Pain ult off. He pops his BKB. Elfin in a bit of trouble. Has that Winter's Curse in a second or two. The Orchid Soulburn will help him, but it won't quite be enough to keep him alive. In fact, EVG, he's going to go down. The irony is rich, though, as he pops right back up. He will blink away, not disjoining that Lich ult, though, as the Wraithfire Blast does not connect. He does have buyback available, but he won't have another ult if he gets back up. Buybacks galore coming out of the Radiant side. Can they make it happen here? The creeps aren't to the base just yet, but here comes Ember Spirit. He's looking for the racks, and they're actually backing off, as they have lost their supports. Ninja versus Ember, though. Who would win? Nice dodge by Ember. He manages to Searing Chains the Spin and hold him in place just long enough to force them back and keep the dream alive for Flogic. The Cinderella story. And I'm going to eat my words, of course, if they get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. But it could happen. Oh boy! It's a rapier! I was wondering when. The stakes have been raised. That's right, Divine Rapier up on the Ember Spirit, and now they need to puppy pause. And honestly, after that last pause, Argentinian Redux better not say nothing. To be completely honest. Divine Rapier. Now, if this is your first Dota game, you're like, what's the Divine Rapier? What's the big deal? It's just a sword. It's not just a sword. It gives you 330 damage. This is more than double Ember Spirit's damage. To put it in perspective, Wraith King doesn't even do this much damage with a regular right click. Now, if he crits, sure. But if he don't crit, he doesn't do that much damage. However, if you die, it drops. If an ally picks it up, I don't know what that says, but I think he said final pause, please. Can't blame him there. If an ally picks it up, though, can't use it. If an enemy picks it up, anyone can use it at that point. Can't pick it up with a courier. It is the all-in. Cake obs. Do you know who I am? ...105 kills at this point, and a rapier. I think I saw an 800 damage crit over there. And keep in mind, he still has 35% cleave. He needs to hit Quap like... What's he got? He's got 600 damage. He hits Quap 3 times. Even if he doesn't get a crit, she's basically dead. Now, of course, she has armor. But if he gets a crit on any one of those, she is actually dead. Gonna stun the Wraith King, who I don't think really cares, because he's just here to soak everything up, pop the BKBs, and now here comes Ember. Here we go. He just hit creeps with that, so never mind. Actually, there's just a lot of armor here, to be completely honest, with the Warcry, but there's one without it. And that does a lot of damage. The ulti comes out for Quap. They'll bring Wraith King down. That's a dieback on him, but they take a ranged Rax. The melee Rax still remains. Where is Ember Spirit? He's backing off. He's got to play it safe here. Knowing his buddy's down, and of course with the Rapier. You can't afford to lose that. The problem is, with his ulti up, Sven does comparable damage. Oh, but there's Ember on the bot lane. Now they're pinging him out. They're like, wait a second. That's a Rapier. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He'll get spotted by Lich. Can't do much. Doesn't really want to fight him anyway. And I can't blame him, but luckily Ember Spirit does not take the bit. Wait. Maybe he does. He's seen a hero mid. But he's got to be careful. If Queen of Pain blinks on him and Orchid's in, very well be dead. He'll go back top there. Rat-doda. Pushing all the lanes. And what a tense game. If you're just tuning in, yes, it's still game 1. This game started 2 hours ago. And now they're in trouble. The Radiant's mid is under attack. Keep in mind, if they lose, all their hopes and dreams crushed at the moment. Sven pops the ulti. There's Necro. He comes in. He BKBs as well. He's not doing enough damage just yet, though, which is surprising, seeing as he has a Rapier. But I realize Sven gets up to 44 armor. Excuse me, not damage. When he pops that Warcry, and he's next to Queen of Pain. There's still a glyph on the side of the Dire. Dire's top racks are under attack, but the Ancient, it's under attack. Where's Ember? He buys back, but the game is over! And it's all over for Flogic. As you can see, the Rapier on the ground. Argentinian rejects have effectively ended the run of Flogic in the SCTT. But what a game it was to go out on. And they've got one more to play after this one. I have a feeling this one may be a lot of fun, seeing as they can't possibly make it to finals now. They can just have a good time. Lucchini will actually be our 8th and final team in the playoffs. In case some of you are heading out, although I believe we're going to have a great game as number 2. We will have Not Today up against Resnon Verba. Team Dialcom up against Golden Elements Gaming. Coliseo against Tisho, and Kawi Desuni up against Lucchini as our first round of the upper bracket. Of course, those games will start tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, actually, at 4 p.m. Eastern with a best of 3 between Not Today and Resnon Verba. Anyways, we'll be going over to game number 2. I assume we may actually not be. Because, well, they may just not play it. Congratulations to Arch Team Rejects and a great fight put up by Flogic. We'll be right back, guys.